one of the things that I'm working on, and I've been working on since I came back from the Philippines, I've been working on the Bible for our show. And just to give you a rundown on what that is, whenever someone creates like a show, mostly with sitcoms or mostly with episodic TV, they have a Bible as to what the show is about, what's included,
Oh.
what's not included, possible storylines, and the overall arch of the show. Because I have so many things that I've been working on with my company, Cycle Forward Films, and now I'm working with the Clean Initiative podcast. I already have many things in the Bible for my company, but one of the things is I'm creating a Bible for the Clean Initiative podcast. Now, this is where we pull two things from the Bible, and you guys need to let me know whether it sticks, whether we can forget about it, or whether it needs more work. That's our rating system that we use.
Okay.
Our
Let's hear this Bible.
is, I tell you the idea, you let me know, hey, that's going to need a little bit more work, man.
Okay.
Or,
All right.
hey, that really sticks with me. I like that. Or, forget about it. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of ideas of things that I've been working on recently. And you can let me know in your opinion whether it sticks, needs more work, or we can forget about it.
Okay.
Now, here's the first idea. It's called cybernetic. A man wakes up on a derelict spaceship. He finds that his body has been grafted with electronic parts and, to accent his human parts. As he's trying to remember the last thing before he wound up in this state, and as he sort of does a check of his whole body and he's getting used to everything that's going on, and before he can do anything, the ship is under attack. So he has to figure out how to make that body work. He has to get up. He has to go to the controls of the ship, patch into it, and defend himself. And that's how the film starts.
Nice.
Second idea. A person wakes up in a dark room. And they know they're standing and they can feel that there are others in the room with them. But all they really hear is heavy breathing. All they hear is just movement and nothing's really happening. Everything's quiet. Then all of a sudden they start to hear noise outside. They start to hear gunfire. They start to hear all kinds of stuff. And then the door swings open. And you see one of the minor characters from The Walking Dead, and you realize you're a sentient zombie in a room full of zombies. And as the other zombies go out and are exterminated, you stand back, you stay back, and you're able to survive. So this film follows that first sentient zombie as it ventures out and starts to build their zombie army. So those are my first two ideas from the Bible of the Clint Initiative podcast. So Katie, since you're the newest person, what did you think of those two ideas and which one would you gravitate more to?
Honestly, I love both of them. I was kind of waiting to see what you would say next. I'm like, okay, why are we stopping halfway in the story? But but I really like I can see how the first one we would have kind of room to get into it more, like maybe how you were saying, how he needs to figure out how his body works. He just kind of woke up like that. It would be nice. You would have certain scenes kind of showing that, what the struggle is for him to get used to it. I can see a lot of play with that. And even with the zombie idea, so are you saying you would be in the zombies' point of view, or is it a person looking at that?
It would all be from the zombie's point of view, how he sees these people. By putting it in the Walking Dead universe, there's a certain kind of zombie that you're dealing with. But you also
Mhm.
know that in the last few episodes of that show, the zombies were starting to evolve. So now what you do is in that world, you throw a sentient zombie. Now it doesn't have to be the Walking Dead, but there are certain rules for the zombies in the Walking Dead. So you use those rules for your zombie. And the sentient zombie is able to move around and do things that the other zombies can't do to not only help himself survive, to help the others survive as well. And then as the story goes on, it gets really deep. But it's something that I'm not into horror movies, but I think that the accessibility of the Walking Dead world and the zombies there, it wasn't so much horror as it was the human story. What happens when a human evolves beyond the human condition and it just so happens to be a zombie?
Yeah.
Let's explore it. And that's what the film is all about.
Yeah,
So,
I like that one as well too. I think there's a lot of room to play with that as well. And even like you said, if you're not too big into horror, you can still kind of like play with the gore scene, but still do his point of view and evolve with the zombie. Like and I don't me personally, I love horror movies, and to see a zombie point of view, it would definitely be something that would stick to me, because that's not what most of these movies don't focus on that. They focus more on the survivors. So it would definitely be something um, eye catching, especially for horror fans.
okay, excellent. So now, Clint, you're up on deck. What do you think, man? Which ideas
Oh,
do they stick? Do we need to work on it, or can we forget about it?
what chapter of the Bible you are reading from? That was Clint 3:16 or what? Okay, so let me stop fooling around. I like the boat, but for some reason I like the second one more because I like the way how it started out with the suspense, him feeling out in the dark. There are a lot of ways where I could see that could really grow into a film. The suspense of it really got me. Yeah, it kind of gives me the chill. He alone feeling around in the dark and hearing these heavy songs of breathing around him. And then again, it kind of like gives you compassion, which most people don't really, when they're looking at horror movies, they just want to, kill zombies. So it kind of like makes you feel for the zombie. I see like, yeah, this zombie could probably has a heart, and where he, organizes people to go against, it makes the humans look like the bad people. So it kind of like give it a different twist to the original horror movie. So I am more for the second one. The second one would stick.
So, did the first one you think it needs more work, or did the first one stick for you as well?
The first one, I like it, but I think we could. I think the second one, I feel it more. If you know what
Like
I'm
more
saying.
a newer
Yeah,
topic. Yeah.
I
And
feel the second. I felt the second one a little more. The suspense of it is there. The first one, yeah, we could work a little more on it. But the first one also songs, since it's sci-fi songs, expensive, very expensive.
well, that's the
But
one
we
thing.
could work. We could. I know that's what the Clinton Initiative is all about. We're going to get our funding, but I think we could more work with the we could put the first one a little on the shelf for a while, and we could go with the second one first. I think the second one will be a bigger hit.
I know that there is a big built-in audience for zombie material, a big built-in audience for zombie material. And one of the things that is great about the second idea is that you can actually do that. You find your locations. It's zombies. It's mostly outdoors. And when it's indoors, is mostly things that are decaying and broken down. So we can find locations where we can do certain parts of the story, and doing it first as a short film, people will be screaming to see what happens next. So what I love about the zombie, um, that whole genre is that you can, for a very low budget, create a zombie epic short film that will make people crave more. Now, cybernetic, of course, will cost a little more, but what really makes that work for me on the budget side is that you would just need to build 1, 2, maybe 3 sets. So you have your 3 sets because he's trapped on the ship. So as long as you can make those 3 sets convincing and have your details down, the only time you have to worry about other things is when the person arrives at the planet. So everything that we do as a company will start off as a short film. Proof of concept is something I said a lot in the first 8 episodes, and it's something I'm going to say a lot as we go through the show. But as you guys can see, those are just 2 ideas from that I have that are current. And,
I love them.
yeah, and it's things that I've been thinking about and things that I know that once we get people to contribute via either GoFundMe or our Patreon initiative, then we can actually make those things happen.